All right, my dear friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for Wednesday, the 2nd of December, 2020. Cruising through the year. We've got the moon home in the sign of Cancer. We've got the sun in the sign of Sagittarius, and Mercury just freshly joined the sun in the sign of Sagittarius. All right, so the moon moving home to the sign of Cancer is a really positive feeling, okay? There's a sense of emotionally coming to not a completion, but coming into like a fulfillment. Okay, there's a sense of rest, peace, at ease with the moon home in the sign of Cancer. Okay, and this is a discovery. This is us discovering our own emotions, discovering the things that make us feel like the warm comfort foods, warm comfort words, warm comfort conversations, right? Warm comfort activities. So these are the things that we're going to be seeking out during the next 2 days here, Wednesday into Thursday, as the moon resides in Cancer. Okay, now oftentimes, in the water signs, things go hidden. Okay, this is not physical energy. This is emotional energy. Okay, so we don't always express our emotions. We don't always wear our hearts on our sleeves. But thankfully, let me show you the chart here. We've got Mercury just freshly joined the sun here in the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, so Mercury and the sun, both in the sign of Sagittarius, are, although you see this little bit of a quincunx happening here between the sun and the moon. All right, Mercury is here to help this out. So what this means is our emotion, we feel a lot. We're feeling a lot right now, okay? And we're paying a lot of attention to our surrounding environments, such as our home, such as the closest people to us, the closest people to our hearts, our friends, our family members, okay? And there can be communications that are necessary communications that we don't always necessarily know how to go about it. Again, thankfully, Mercury is up there as well, which is adding a positive light, okay? It's giving us this ability to express, okay? That's what, the ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter, okay? Jupiter is expansion and expression. This is King Jupiter, the biggest planet in the zodiac, okay? Happy-go-lucky, all right? So there's a lot of these warm feelings that we're talking about, those warm, fuzzy feelings that we want to express, but we don't always know the words to express them, okay? And this is that little quincunx there between the sun and the moon. It's like, I don't fully know how to express all of these things. Then Mercury comes in and says, look, now I have a plethora of words I can use, a verbose dialogue, okay, a verbose vocabulary that's going to allow me to express myself fully, for me to be able to understand what's happening here in my heart, here in my mind, a north node moving in this direction, right? It's all about our own wisdom, our own communication. Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, this is saying, look, my teachings, everything that I've done has led me to this point. My education, my learning, what I've written, what I've read, this is all about, we're a sponge that we absorb all this information and we expand, right? Absorb all this information, and now we have an arsenal of words, okay, at the tip of our tongue that we can use to express ourselves fully. Okay, and that little quincunx is happening between the sun and the moon. This is saying this is important to express ourselves. Okay, and to do it in a way that comes off compassionate, empathetic, emotionally sensitive, caring, and understanding. Okay, no matter what's going on, whether it's conflict or sunshine and rainbows in your life right now, all right, sometimes the Sagittarian energy, because it is this verbose dialogue, it is the professor, the professor of the zodiac. This is the highest level of education and learning in the zodiac, is debatably, Sagittarius. Okay, so oftentimes this is like reading a menu at a restaurant where they have all the sizzle words, okay, where someone's speaking to you and they're using all of these adjectives and descriptive words that make something that's like, it's just a soda, it's just a can of soda, and it's just like, it's the best bubbly sparkling water that exists on the planet, pulled from the carbonations of, the bubble, whatever, we don't need all those extra words sometimes, but we have them available. But sometimes what happens is when we have all these extra words, we can come across as being pompous, or talking down to, or there's two sides to every coin, you know what I mean? So part of it is just like using our words to express ourselves fully and completely, where we can express with a sense of compassion. What we don't want to do is use so many words that we're being disrespectful. Long story short. You know, we can say so much, we can build so much up and all of these things and yeah, we have them, they're available. We don't need to over-exaggerate. Over-exaggeration, okay? And even so, here's another, like, you know, red flag. With the moon home in Cancer, we can, not only do we have Mercury and the sun, you know, that place of exaggeration in the zodiac of communicating our own ego, right? Exaggerating our own ego or our own needs. But now we have the moon home in Cancer, which can sometimes add to this martyr personality type. Okay, what that means is I've done this and I've done this and I've done all of these things for you, and why haven't you returned this for me and my emotional needs? Right? It's almost kind of dramatic, right? And we want to be aware of ourselves during this time of to not end up in that overusing our vocabulary to play this victim role or martyr in my emotion, my sensitive emotions. I'm not making fun of anybody, but you know, it's like that sense of like martyr aspect. It's like we chose to do those things. You know, it's not somebody held a gun to our head instead of, you know, it's like if we want to do a kind thing for someone because it emotionally makes us feel good, however they receive it is up to them, and it's up to you to okay, this was good. But not having to return this tit for tat, okay? It's kind of important. And this is also kind of plays along with how we deal with this energy here. You know, us being the sense of authority in our own lives, like we chose to do something. We don't have to play, you know, that martyr aspect. Look what all these things I've done for you. Where does the pendulum swing back my way? Which that kind of energy exists in this kind of scenario, and especially with this quincunx happening here, okay? Now, as we move forward in the day, just a little bit more, there we go. All right, we're going to start to get this trine here. Pretty cool. Grand water trine between Venus, Neptune, and the moon. All right, now this is a really cool trine. Now, I've already got this pulled up to midnight. So midnight my time, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. over for my friends in California. You know, this is a cool trine, okay? Because Venus is everything you love, want, and desire, and this is about deep stuff. This is your deep sex, money, power, control issues. This is the things that you keep hidden from yourself, even the things that you try to ignore in the mirror. And this is saying, like, look, I have to love these aspects of myself. I have to acknowledge these aspects of myself. And furthermore, when I understand and come to an acceptance of who I am, that these desires do exist within me. Sometimes we shroud things, you know. And here's another aspect of this, of like the South Node. And I'm not going to make this a huge like religious thing, but like, you know, when religion often talks negatively about like body exploration, you know, for young men or women, you know, and it's just like it's a very natural and healthy aspect of life. You know, understanding your own body. Venus being in the sign of Scorpio is like understanding our own body. This is our emotional physicality, our sexual aspects of our body, you know. And it's saying like not necessarily having to deny ourselves of these things, right? Because the more we pinch the hose here on one end, the more that there's an issue comes up, right? So it's like almost understanding, you know, it could be that going on in your life, or it can be something very different, but understand I'm just using this as an analogy, or, you know, to spark whatever's going on for you. So it's like exploring those deep feelings that we have, you know, and that South Node in Sagittarius, like, well, my pastor, or, you know, priest said this, or, you know, the nun said this, and then it's a sin to, you know, my palms are hairy, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? And this is saying like, look, we have to honor our bodies. We have to honor our own sexual desires. We have to honor our creativity through that. You know, there's the most creative energy in the body is our sexual energy, right? And we transmute that sexual energy into creative energy, okay? And then we come across the way here, so it's just like honoring this part of ourself. This is the closer the sun and Mercury are going to get to this eclipse here with the south node, the more that we dissolve some of that stuff that I was just kind of talking about a moment ago, okay? And we have Venus here connecting, and it's going to continue this week, connecting with now forward moving direct Neptune, okay? All of our dreams, our ambition, not ambitions, excuse me, our dreams, our creativity, this is our writings, our imagination, you know, this is even media, you know, but let's leave media out for this right now. We'll just focus on dreams, our imagination, the oneness, our connection with spirituality, our connection with source, okay? So it's just like when we're understanding those deeper aspects of ourselves and connecting with this source energy, you know, we bring abundance into our lives. Abundance. Okay? Chiron connecting Jupiter. Creative way. Clearing. Healing. Okay? Venus also creating, creating this quintile over here to Saturn. Let's make things real. I'm the authority of my life. Let me get back to that. Trine. Okay? We're talking about this grand water trine. All right. This is between our emotions, deep-rooted emotions, understanding that we certainly have all of these feelings, that we need to honor these feelings. I mean, that's basically what it is. We need to honor all of these feelings that we have. And that even comes with a catch-22, because just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. You know, while the North Node's going to be in Gemini, I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm going to be throwing a lot of like paradoxes at you, because there's always two sides of every coin. You know. But that's the beauty of this, and it's up to us wherever we're at in our lives to like pluck what we need from whatever this message is telling us, you know, and take that, you know. So I'm sure some of this is going to resonate with some of you, and then some, you know, parts are going to resonate better with other people. So either way, this grand water trine, this is also saying like, don't close yourself off. Don't go so in your head and in your own emotions, you know, that we're shrouding out the rest of the world. Okay. It's part of the beauty of the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius right now is about communication. It's understanding that we need to not only expand, but open up our arms. And if we can, embrace an individual, because people need love right now. People need hugs. People need affection. People need to be touched. And we have the outside authority saying you're going to put yourself and myself and every one of your neighbors and friends and family members in danger if you hug somebody. You know what I mean? It's a teeter-totter. You know? There's no right or wrong. It's up to us, you know, to figure this out. We've never had this before. We're all dealing with this. It's all new for us together. All right? So either way, positive energy, and we have all of the words on the tip of our tongue, all of the knowledge in our tool belt that we can express our emotions, express our dreams, express our creativity, express our power, you know, the things that we want to strive for in life, the things that we want to create, the emotions that we feel. We have the ability to express all of this stuff today to our closest friends, to our families. If we're writing something, you know, this is that beautiful energy to write something, to share it with your friends on social media, or if you're, you know, making videos just like this, beautiful energy to really express your emotional self, and it come across as understood, heard, and well thought out, well worded. All right, my friends, have a beautiful Wednesday. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.